That's right. The Hogs are dancing, and they are headed to Motown, the Motor City, Alyssa Orange. And, a lot of people are thinking maybe it'd be nice if they went to Dallas or Wichita, perhaps Nashville. But in the end, it is Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit shocking a lot of people as a destination. But, Drew, I like the draw. I like Butler, and I like the matchup that if they beat Butler, they move on to play Purdue or Cal State Fullerton, because we're not going to put our ducks before they hatch. But, of course, I like the matchup, and I like what we're going to get into more of, like how Butler and Arkansas match up. But I like that there's no UNC anywhere to be found. And I know Hog fans like that.
Very good point. We thought maybe there'd be some potential matchup with Duke as well. But did not happen. Yes, we will see. All right, it'll be the Butler Bulldogs for the Arkansas Razorbacks coming up. And the selection show watch party, we got to get to that. Let's go to Tara Talmadge as we continue our team coverage.
Yeah, that's right. Hog fans over at Bud Walton Arena this afternoon getting a chance to watch Selection Sunday with the Razorback team. And we have all seen how much talent is in the conference this year. Arkansas, just one of 8 SEC teams heading to the big dance. The Razorbacks making it all the way to the semifinals of the SEC tournament, taking a tough loss to the Tennessee Volunteers. But Mike Anderson and the guys all agree that playing such a tough competition in St. Louis and throughout the entire year will definitely help them in Detroit.
I think all year long we've been getting them prepared. I mean, if you think about this schedule that we had, I mean, right off the bat, you're playing a Bucknell team. Well, guess where Bucknell is? Right in the tournament. Then you go right into conference play. Your first game is against Tennessee. Tennessee just beat us in the SEC tournament. I mean, that's they're one of, I think, the top 4. I don't know what seed they were, 3, 4 seed.
Coach told us we had probably one of the toughest schedules he ever had, and I think he put that together on purpose just for this moment. And like you said, it prepared us for this moment right here. And I feel like playing those type of teams get you ready for the type of competition you're gonna face in the NCAA tournament.
We've been working on this all year, been preparing. Had one of the hardest schedules in Arkansas history, and like you said, we're gonna be ready for it this time.
Well, guys, the only conference that has more teams heading to the big dance than the SEC is the ACC. They have 9, but 8 teams, still pretty impressive stuff right there.
Yeah. I mean, I would not want to play anybody in the SEC in this big dance.
No, best year the SEC has had.
Having said that, I would agree with what Rick Barnes said last night after the Tennessee-Arkansas game. All right, the Dogs are 20-13 this season. They just made their way to the Big East semis in New York after going 9-9 in conference play. This is a program that finished tied for 6th in the Big East. Forward Keelan Martin is the team's leading scorer at 21 points per game. He was a unanimous All-Big East first-team selection. Kamar Baldwin checking in, meantime, at about 16 per night. The Dogs head coach LaVal Jordan is in his first season in charge at Butler. He played at Butler as well. Mike Anderson on the matchup.
And Butler's a very, very good basketball team. You got multiple guys that can score. Their bigs can step out and shoot the basketball. Defensively, they do a really good job of really contesting three-point shots. They rebound the basketball well. Fundamentally, they do it. They do a lot of great things. So it's like I said, it's a team. Every team in this tournament is really, really good.
All right, so we're going to set the stage here. Arkansas, the 7 seed, Butler, the 10. The Dogs are 20-13, as we mentioned. Arkansas, 23-11. Little Caesars Arena, the site. You guys are going to be eating a lot of pizza. I can feel it. This one airing at 2:10 on True TV. Arkansas looking for its 9th win in the last 12 games. Again, Friday at 2:10.
Anxious to show our sports director, Jason Carroll, Detroit for the first time.
Detroit, yeah, that's right.
It'll
You're
be his
a Michigan
first trip.
Guy.
Yes,
That's
born
right.
in Michigan.
There you go.
But I love Arkansas. So
that's a good plug.
All right, let's continue our team coverage. Gene Dumont has much more with a look at these two head-to-head, the Dogs and the Hogs. Gene.
Drew and Alyssa, when most people think about Butler, they think Brad Stevens, Gordon Hayward, and those Bulldog teams that went to the Final Four. Well, these aren't the same Butler Bulldogs, and of course, I got to take a look at the numbers. Let's compare them to Arkansas. I know this will shock a lot of people, but Arkansas, yes, they do average more points per game than Butler. The Bulldogs kept one thing from the Brad Stevens days. They defend, only allowing 73 points a game. Now, to win, Arkansas will have to keep Butler off the glass. The Bulldogs have a positive rebound margin, while the Hogs, unfortunately, have a negative margin. And while Arkansas prides themselves on forcing turnovers, well, the Bulldogs do the same. So who maintains the ball will be key. Both teams shoot the ball about the same, but where the Hogs can take advantage is that Butler allows opponents to shoot 45% from the field. Now, I got 2 additional stats for you because I always got to have a little something extra. Butler allows opponents to shoot 37% from the three-point line, which would be 12th in the SEC. And when it comes to the 7-10 matchup in the last 10 years, I did this math, of course, 7s have won 60% of the time, and 10s have won at least one game every year. So 7-10 matchup is a little tricky.
Gene and his
Stats
calculator.
and style. Look at this little thing right there.
You know, I'm just
Very
trying to match
prim and
you.
proper. I'm digging it.
I got to bring a little something.
Yes,
something.
the good and bad. Arkansas is a 7 seed, 0-1 in program history. But the good, Jalen Barford's eyes are this big right now. Why? Because of that percentage allowed by the Butler Bulldogs. And by the way, he shot like 50% plus in that SEC tournament. I don't need to tell you all that. Y'all watch the games.
Yeah.
Right, Alyssa?
Yeah, I think that Arkansas, when you look at this matchup, you have to get excited. And Mike Anderson said in his press conference afterwards that you've got two up-tempo teams. The fans are going to love it. The fans are the winners here. But if you're Arkansas, you love that this is your pace of play. And now what you need to do is make sure that you control that pace of play.
Absolutely. You know, and I like the stat that Gene brought up about forcing turnovers because that kind of fits into that fastest 40 motto. But I think the bench has got to be a lot better when you look at things.
Yeah.
Darius Hall, very, very good in that SEC tournament.
Yeah, he was a big force for them as well. And then, Anton Beard also stepped up as well. They're still missing Dustin Thomas, though. That is going to be an issue for them. They've got to fill that spot. So, yeah, some of those guys are going to have to step up in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think Tara makes a good point when she says about Anton Beard, because you look at Anton Beard and Trey Thompson, who are seniors who have the most postseason NCAA tournament experience, but they've gotten lost in the shuffle.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been there. This is the third trip in 4 years under Mike Anderson, so this is huge. But, when you look at Anton Beard, as Tara mentioned, Gene, he's a guy who had very few turnovers in the SEC tournament. He's so key because sometimes people kind of forget about Anton because Daryl and Jalen are so good.
Yeah, people, they freak out about Anton because they think he's either really good or they want him so far away from the program that he's in another state. But Anton Beard is a key because when he's playing well, this team is really, really good because we've seen games from him before where he's had 8 assists and no turnovers. And when he does that kind of stuff, this team is really good. And then he can take pressure off Jalen and Daryl from 3, like you mentioned.
Glue guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glue guy. That's good. Quick take on this, 15 seconds. You have a little bit more time off for a Friday game. These guys are gassed right now, Alyssa. 3 games in 3 days.
I love it. Get your legs underneath of you. And what Mike Anderson said is if you win, you get a day off, you play Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that set up there in Detroit. East Regional for Arkansas and Butler. All right, thanks much to the 3 of you.